Hey, agency owners. So, welcome to the Marketing Masters Lessons from the Front Lines. We are dedicated to helping agency owners navigate the complex world of running a successful agency. We bring you in depth conversations with industry veterans who share their secrets to attracting clients, managing teams, and staying ahead of the trends and growing a profitable business. So, without further ado, I'm excited to introduce you to Jake Tlapek, the owner of the Wizard Marketing. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing great, doing great. Yeah, super pumped to have you on the show. And as you were mentioning, I found you on LinkedIn, and you were talking about GA4. I'm like, I gotta have Jake on the show. He looks like a guy that has a tremendous, provides tremendous value. So love to have him on the show.
Absolutely. I'm,
So
I'm stoked to be
tell
here.
us, yeah. Tell me a little bit more about your background. How did you get into the agency business?
Absolutely. So I have a bit of a wild ride. I actually started in the military doing long distance communications. So absolutely nothing to do with marketing whatsoever. And when I got out, I had all these skills at project management and IT, but I didn't have a job, so I had to find something. And the place that hired me ended up being a marketing agency that needed a project manager. So I had nothing to do with the actual marketing side of the business. I just managed the projects and the customers. And
Ah,
just being exposed to it over the next year and a half, I developed an interest in it, started being more involved on the strategy side. And after about a year and a half, 2 years, I was the creative director for the agency.
wow.
Because I just loved it. I loved it. I love the strategy. I love solving
Yeah.
problems. And a lot of what marketing is being able to understand an audience's problem and then find the solution path for them and then explain that to them. So that's how I got into marketing originally. Unfortunately, that agency that I worked at no longer exists. Some things changed in the agency. I ended up leaving. I went and got a job actually at an IT firm using my past experience as their marketing manager, and
Mm-hmm.
realized that I didn't like working for other people at the end of the day. And so I went out and started my own agency, and I haven't looked back since. That was over 5 years ago.
Wow, love it. Well, you hit all the points, right? Like your first experience, what motivated you. All right. Um, what were some of the biggest challenges? Now, like you had experience working at this agency as a project manager, creative director. Then you realized to another company that wasn't the right fit. Then you start your own agency now. What were the biggest challenges right at the get go?
Um, I, I'll be honest. Starting your own business, especially as a creative, um, you really think that your business is going to sell itself. And what I've learned is that every business is a sales business. If your business doesn't have sales, you don't have clients and you don't have a business. And so learning that I needed to not only learning that I needed to prioritize sales over other activities was a big challenge and hurdle for me. Again, because I'm a marketing person, you would think with good marketing, I shouldn't have to sell you. You just want it. But
Mhm.
there is an actual element of sales that's always going to be a part of business. And I needed to prioritize that. So my early time period of my business was tough because I wasn't selling as much as I needed to kind of make the revenue I wanted to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I 100% agree. And the selling, fortunately, unfortunately, I mean, if you love selling, it doesn't ever stop. Like even if, let's say, an organization, in the beginning where you're trying to get sales from clients, but you're also when you're trying to hire people, you're technically still selling, but you're not selling to customers. You're selling to people to join your team, right?
Absolutely. I think you bring up a great point too. Um, that sales process, that internal sales, where you're
Mhm.
selling the company to your team. There's also an element of marketing in that too, where you actually have to market the values and the product to your internal team so that they believe in it. And I
Hmm.
don't think that gets talked about enough.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. It's one of those necessary skill sets. Now, how did you overcome the sales challenge?
So my hobby, I'm a board game enthusiast in my hobby, and I
Oh,
actually have
okay.
developed board games. And so
Oh, very cool.
I I approach a lot of problems from a game design or a problem solving aspect, right? Game theory. Can
Yep.
I gamify something? And so I think about a lot of
Yeah.
problems in that way. What resources do I have? What moves can I make? How many turns do I have? That's a lot about how I process things. And so what I
Hmm.
realized with needing to overcome my barrier or my hesitancy to do sales was I needed to find a way where sales didn't feel slimy to me. Because that was my big thing is that
Hmm.
if
Yeah.
my product is worth it, why should I have to sell you on it? And what I've come to realize is
Hmm.
that sales and the sales process doesn't have to feel forceful. It's more about
Hmm.
connecting things together. So you're connecting
Yeah.
a result, the way that a person will feel after acquiring your product, to their pain
Hmm.
point that they have today. And you just make sure that that road in between is your product or solution. And if you kind of approach it in a way of, I'm actually helping you rather than
Hmm.
I have to get you to buy this so that I can get a paycheck, it completely
Yep.
disrupts that sleazy car salesman aspect of the situation.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that approach. I think typically people think about sales as, oh, the used car sales, kind of like sleazy, like, oh my God, I'm just gonna just shove this down your throat. But instead, I think of it as like, hey, there's people out there that just went through the Sahara Desert, right? They're like dying for thirst, and you just so happen to have that bottle of water, right, for them to help them, and it's a great fit, right? But if it was a bad fit, then yeah, you're just pushing water that no one wants, right? It's like selling ice to Eskimos, right? No one wants
Right.
that, right?
Absolutely.
Very good, very good. And then what advice would you give someone that's thinking about starting their own agency?
I answer this question a lot, and I've really refined my answer to it over time. And this is what I would say: focus on becoming the expert in one thing in marketing. Marketing is a field of distractions. There are so many shiny and glittery things in marketing that you can potentially do. And I made the mistake as a person who, one of my core facets is I'm an understander. Like I need to understand many, many, many things. I consume that knowledge, and I'm blessed with the ability to uh, comprehend quickly. So when I started my business, I sold everything. And that was a mistake, to be honest. It was just a massive mistake because it pulled
Hmm.
me away constantly from being consistent on things. So if you're thinking of starting your own agency, my recommendation is this: try out everything in the digital marketing space or the marketing space. Find the thing you love the most. Sell everything, but only do that one. Go find someone else that can do the rest. So if you love to do email marketing, sell SEO, sell pay per click, sell website design, but go and find someone else who can do that work that you can pass that to and make a couple bucks off of that sale. That's how I would, if I had to go back and restart, I would start with that approach.
Yeah, yeah, I 100% agree. And I like how like I hear a lot of experts say start with a niche, right? The riches are in the niches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the issue with that is when you're starting off, like I don't know what I want. I'm just trying to figure out, what it is. So yeah, just trying a little bit of everything in the beginning, understanding that eventually you're gonna hone in and sell the rest, right?
Yeah, one of the crazy things about
So
marketing is that you if you offer it to people for free, they very rarely say no. So if you want to try something out, if you're like, hey, I'd love to try some SEO on your website, can I practice with your website? Most people will come up and say, absolutely, sure, go for it. And so if you want to try things out in marketing, it's very easy to find real world opportunities for that. If you just go and ask people, hey, can I do this for you for free for 2 months? And what happens is if you have success and you did it for free for 2 months, you've set the anticipation that they're going to have to pay after that. And if you didn't do well or didn't do okay, no harm, no foul. You got to practice.
Yeah, yeah, it's cheaper than a bachelor's or a master's degree, right? So yeah, love it. So now let's go into the present. Running your agency. So before we dive too deep, so tell us a little bit more about your agency and what you offer.
Excellent. Yeah. So Wizard Marketing is started as a digital marketing agency, but it's become so much more since then. Our original focus was on smaller local businesses, specifically in the luxury goods and services space, like high-end contractors, distilleries and breweries, small restaurants, things like that. And we've grown so much since then. We've learned a lot and got new teammates, lost some old teammates. That's how business goes, right? But
Yep.
where we're at today is we kind of have 3 levels that we work in. So our first level is our entry level for people who have a business that maybe they don't have a lot to spend or nothing to spend on a business. They can join our marketing community called fullvelocitymarketing.com. And that's like an area for them to get questions answered. If they want to go up to our premium level, we have some courses. We have experts in there that can conversate with them on group calls. And so it's a great way that if you don't have a lot of money or you need to do it, but you're willing to do it yourself, you can get a professional to point you in the right directions. And we really have loved opening up that opportunity for people. The second level is when you get to the point where you're like, okay, I need to outsource some of this. I know I need some marketing or a website or paid ads. We do have an a la carte month-to-month solution where businesses can come in and get 1 month of paid ads or 1 month of SEO, whatever it is that they're looking for. And we don't break the bank. We don't commit them into these long, terrible contracts. We're there to help you go from 6 figures to 7 figures. That's what that kind of option is for. And then once you get past that, we introduce our fractional marketing department, which is a completely outsourced marketing department team for your business, where we do all of the strategy and all of the implementation that you would normally have to hire multiple professionals for or multiple different agencies for. We do that all in one spot for you. So, and that's for our 7-figure up to 8-figure kind of client.
Okay. Now, the agency owners that are listening in, they're probably thinking, especially like the month-to-month thing, is probably like they're probably like getting sweats right now. They're like, oh my god, this is crazy, month-to-month, right? Are you insane? All the work that we're doing first month. That's like, what if they leave the first month? Then we're in the negatives, like so. Do you have you had that experience? Like, what do you have those concerns? If not, what was that like?
Yeah, absolutely. So this isn't going to be advice for every agency owner, but it's going to be advice for agency owners of a certain size. When you get to a certain point, every software and tool that you need to do marketing, you're on an enterprise plan. You have an unlimited number of licenses or uses or something for it. Your personal internal costs to run new clients is not increasing. And so when we got to that point, we reevaluated our offerings of committing people into long-term contracts. And what we realized is that when we put people in long-term contracts, they go 2 or 3 months down the line. And if they don't have the warm, touchy-feelies, they just ghost us. And then we never get the money anyways. But if we offer month-to-month contracts where we give the customers that absolute flexibility, most of our clients stay on them for much longer because they feel comfortable exiting anytime. Or if they have a hiccup in their business, they feel very comfortable approaching us and saying, we'd like to take a break for 1 month. And we go, great, we'll see you in a month. And they come right back to us. And so you do need to get to a certain point with all of your business expenditures where you can kind of eat that flexibility as far as software and development costs goes. But it's been a fantastic model with our clients. They love it. We love it. It gives everybody the best of all the worlds.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it sounds like with you'll be able to just scale with the right processes, and to a certain point you already have the software, the increase the there's not that much variable cost, so there's already that fixed cost, and then adding in some more processes and procedures, and then what we discussed earlier about really niching down on the particular service or industry, then all these things will be a lot easier to do instead of locking someone in for like a 3, 6, or a year contract. Okay.
Absolutely. And on top of that, it also gives us flexibility in the strategy execution, where if they're in a moment where a email marketing campaign would be excellent for them, but they can't afford to do SEO and an email marketing campaign, we can pause the SEO for 1 month, do the email marketing campaign, and then come back to the SEO. And we don't have to do new contracts. We don't have to worry about interrupting payment flows. It's just a part of the process. So it's truly a small business owner's dream.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like they're hiring a marketing team, or well, in this case, the fractional marketing team, right? Without having to hire every single role and then put them on pause, or letting people go and then bring them back on when they need it. But also, I mean, so I'm from an agency perspective, that sounds like a nightmare to manage for resources wise, right? On your end, and also keeping track of like, okay, well, how does a client understand, like, okay, we're not doing AdWords, let's say this month, or SEO this month, and we're going to do email campaign. How do they translate that they're getting apples to apples or dollar to dollar from translation? Or do you have a calculator you show them, or how does that work?
Super easy to understand. All of our services are priced individually. And so we mandate a monthly meeting.
Yep.
If they don't hold the monthly meeting, we continue what we did the last month.
Okay.
But at that monthly meeting, our project manager has the ability to literally change their billing right then and there during that meeting to decide what we're doing right there.
Okay.
And so that's how we operate going forward. And then all of our team members have AORs, areas of responsibility.
Yeah.
So whenever a new thing gets assigned, it just gets dropped into their AOR and they know how to run with it.
Ah, love it. I picture like there's like a restaurant menu, and like the client has a monthly budget, and then like, okay, you always get is always going to be like a 5-course meal, but what is the appetizer? What is the soup or the salad and the main entree and the dessert? And it can be rotated every month. Okay.
Absolutely. Very, very, we get called the menu all the time.
The menu. I like that.
We call it the menu internally, so it works out perfectly.
Okay. Now, how do you manage your team and keep them motivated?
With fear.
With
Is
fear.
no,
Oh, okay. That works great.
No, you gotta have a person who's responsible for responsibilities. A project manager. Without a project manager to kind of be responsible for the task list, that's their job. That's their babysitter, their duty, and their charge. And so without a person like that, things definitely fall through the cracks. But if you have a good person whose job is only to make sure that contracts and agreements get fulfilled, and they have the authority to not command the team members, but heavily influence their schedules. And then if there are hiccups or backups, either A, handle it with the customer to get more time or more information, whatever that might be, or bring it up the chain to myself or my business partner and handle that at that point. So
Love it.
you got to have somebody whose job is the tasks.
The tasks. Yes.
The
Okay.
tasks.
The task. I just picture like the drummer on the boat. Just like keep rowing. All right.
Absolutely. It's very, very important. If you don't have someone who is responsible to make sure that the work gets done, people will drop things.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yep. Now, next question: what strategies do you use to attract and retain clients?
Great question. So we have done everything under the sun as a marketing agency. Obviously, we've tried a lot. We've abandoned a lot of things, which sounds strange because you go, oh, well, you're a marketing agency. Why aren't you just doing everything? For example, and this might come as a shock, we don't do any SEO on our business. We don't do any SEO, and we do very little paid ads. Because what we've found is that in our marketplace, those are heavily saturated opportunities, which means you're going to pay a lot more for a lot less. And we've developed other opportunity avenues that have worked much better at a much more reasonable cost, namely being, I'm giving away my secrets here, cold outreach, cold email, cold LinkedIn outreach, which again, I held off on that for a long time because it can feel very scuzzy, because people feel like you're stealing their information and they don't want to be contacted. But the truth of the matter is that we're identifying them based off of their needs. And so if you really come at it, again, going way back in the conversation, solve their problems. If you have the opportunity to solve someone's problem, they're a potential client. Whether they want to be a potential client or not, they are. And so there's a level of education involved in that sometimes. So cold outreach and social media, which if I could make one recommendation to every business, this is every business. If you're not on social media, you will be in 2 years. You will be. Because you won't have an option.
Yeah.
So better start now.
Yeah. The challenge is like keeping up, right? It's like, oh, what's the most recent announcement? Threads, right? Everyone's talking about Threads.
Absolutely.
So
But in honesty, it's not about being everywhere. I don't believe in that strategy. Being everywhere isn't valuable. Being where your opportunities are is valuable.
Yes.
So identifying your audience, identifying the platforms that they're on and what kind of content they resonate with. That's far more important than putting a video out every day. Like you've got to understand why people would want to interface with your content. And if you can do that, if you sit down, you go through the list and you go, wow, all of my clientele is on Facebook, just go pound Facebook. Don't bother with the rest. It'll come later.
Makes sense. Now, so going off of the strategies and attracting clients, are there any other strategies that's been most effective for your agencies? You mentioned cold email. Is that been the most successful for your agency?
I would say, let's take the last 6 months because I feel like that's the most fair metric. If I just kind of crop out everything else, I would say in the last 6 months, nearly 2/3 of all of our leads have come from TikTok.
Oh, wow, that's that's a surprise. Yeah. So TikTok. So basically all shorts.
So I would say nearly 2/3 from TikTok. Form. So and there's some benefit to this. I know I'm going too in the weeds here, but TikTok's algorithm changed about 4 months ago to really help creators who do educational content, longer form educational content. I just did an analysis last week of my channel. With the exception of videos that are 55 seconds to a minute long, the longer the video, the more interaction I get.
Wow. That's a surprise. Yeah.
With the exception of 55 seconds to 59 and a half seconds.
Okay. This is really good. You don't hear this every day. So good stuff. Like,
so now that's just my channel.
Yeah.
I'm doing an analysis on a couple other big creators right now to see if that holds true for them too. But generally speaking, that's been the case. So
TikTok. So over 55 seconds. That's the key.
Absolutely. Because at this point, there's so many agencies. There's so many agencies that I'm only going to go with the one I trust. And how do you build trust with somebody through a paid ad?
Don't.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
How are you going to build trust through SEO? It's unlikely. But if you can go on my TikTok and watch 35 videos of me explaining marketing processes and strategies, and then you hop on a live and you can ask me a question or two, there's trust factor right there.
Yeah, for sure. And also based on the algorithm, right? They don't have to watch all 35 at once. They watch a few. Well, you're going to show up maybe tomorrow, maybe a week from now, right? It's just like it's there. Oh, very good.
Exactly. And if you want to go with the age-old adage of marketing touch points, right? How many times someone experiences your brand? If they like one of your videos, they're going to see at least 3 more. At least 3 more.
Yeah. So they're doing all the work for you.
That's touch points. Exactly. Yeah. That's why I really like social media.
Now,
so I would say 2/3 of our leads.
Side question: would you monetize your social media platforms? So let's say it gets to a certain point. Would you monetize? Would you turn on that monetization?
So, yes and no. So we have our coaching program, our $99 a month group coaching program. That is our monetization. Okay. You want to get in with us. You want to get some answers. You want to get some support. That's the best way. The one thing I've been avoiding to this point is affiliate marketing. So if you're familiar with affiliate marketing, it's where you align yourself with products and services that you use. They give you a link, you can sell it, and they'll give you either a kickback or free product or whatever it is. With the way that I have my channel structured, every single recommendation I give has more value because I don't get paid for them.
Okay.
Once I start getting paid, once I start promoting products directly, there's a diminishing of the value of the information that I give out. And so I've actively made the choice to not do affiliate relationships through my channel in order to maintain that level of trust factor. That being said, I don't think there's anything wrong with affiliate marketing. There are products that I will never leave that I love. And if I could get paid for them, great. But I would much rather my channel have that kind of pristine quality to it.
Okay. Yeah. So, but what about, like, let's say turning on the ads on your channels to get monetization through that from, let's say, YouTube themselves, or I'm not too familiar with the TikTok's monetization, but would you turn that on?
So, as of today, I'm not really focusing on YouTube as a platform. The reason for it is that the commitment to making content on that platform is outside of my current capabilities. It's just a bigger time investment than doing TikTok.
The big.
So with their monetization channel, I have no problem with paid ads, to be honest. Like I actually like paid ads, and this might be a hot take. I have bought so many good products that I love because they targeted me using my personal data, found me, and I bought the product. Like, I personally love ads. So I have no problem with any of my channels being advertised upon, as long as it doesn't impact my messaging. Per se.
Okay. Very, very cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing this valuable insider information that you have.
You're very welcome. I'm glad to do it.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So now let's look into the future. Like, what trends are you seeing in the agency world right now?
Well, I kind of alluded to this a little earlier, but goodbye SEO, hello social media. I think that SEO in its current format is going to be dying within the next 2 years or sooner. Reason for that, if you've played with it at all, Google and Bing have both introduced AI, generative AI results into their search algorithms, which is driving people away from visiting websites even more, which means websites, their value within your business is not going to be gone, but the way your website gets used is going to change massively.
Yeah. So not necessarily
your website's going to become a lot more like a Wikipedia page.
Yeah. So more knowledge, information, processing, like applying for, like let's say they have a careers page, right? Applying for opportunities, like more of a tool now for the business, less so on the marketing.
Correct. Whereas I think, and this is what I'm looking forward to. The trend to social media where it's community based and focused, meaning that I could actually pull up 5 or 6 softwares on TikTok and look at how many followers they have on each platform and kind of get a rough estimate of, are people actually using this? Right. So it's like a safety metric. But if we can add more value into the profile elements of our social media, which I think is going to come with the reduction in SEO and website performance, as those platforms add more ability for that to be your home base, we're going to find out that our social media platforms are actually our new websites.
Interesting. But what about the fear of like, oh man, we're losing control, right? We don't own the platform. We don't own Facebook. We don't own Instagram or own TikTok.
I mean, we don't own Wix. We don't own Squarespace. We don't own Shopify. At any time, day or night, Shopify could turn off, and half the e-commerce sites on the internet are gone. So the reality is we're already beholden to all of this. The best part about it, though, is that as this transition happens, these companies aren't stupid. They're run by very intelligent people who understand data. Someone's going to see the writing on the wall for websites, and it's going to be interesting to see who does it first. Because Facebook kind of has it in the Facebook page, but it's not being used as much as Instagram, right? So Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, somebody's going to figure out how to do the profile page much better than they are today in social media. And whoever the first person is to do that is going to kind of spearhead the charge, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like Facebook tried to do it with their Facebook pages. Now I'm like thinking back at MySpace, like all these like profile pages, right?
So, but it will also make that a little bit easier on small businesses.
Yeah. They don't have to go through
a whole
process.
Absolutely. My only concern about that for small businesses is the algorithm is going to need to adjust to calculate in locality much more effectively for this to be an effective tool. So I'm interested to see how that happens. It may even be Google. Google may upgrade their Google My Business pages into a whole social platform. Like that could be a route that this all happens through. I don't know.
Would this be if that was the case, would this be their second or third launch, right? Their attempt of social media.
Oh, Google Plus, you joke.
Oh yeah. And of course, if it works really, really well, what Google's going to do is shut it down. That's what they do, right? When things going well, they'll shut it down.
But if you want to think of like what the architecture is required for this to happen, okay, you have YouTube and YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And then if you brought Google My Business page into that and then added in some kind of like Twitter-esque element to that, that's what it's going to look like, in my opinion. Like that's where it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. Now,
but yeah, down with SEO, up with social.
Got it. Now, how do we, how do you stay ahead of these trends and adapt to the changes?
Well, I'm going to say something that's going to piss off a lot of people. You have to use these platforms. You have to use the platforms. If you're not using the platforms, you will not understand how they work.
Very true.
So many businesses are putting out memes on TikTok. Well, guess what? TikTok memes are kind of dead. They're not popular content right now. They'll come back around. We'll have another wave of it. Probably, I'm going to guess, during the holidays when the user base spikes up. But if you're not using the platform as a user, you will not understand how the platform works. And so you've got to just suck it up. That's why I say, if you're looking at doing a TikTok or an Instagram strategy, you have to use it 30 minutes a day. Do 2 15-minute breaks during your day and scroll it like a person.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I've been avoiding TikTok myself for the longest time. I'm like, it's not that I don't want to learn. I'm afraid it might suck my life away, right? Like suck up all my time, right? That 30 minutes turns into 3 hours. Like, whoa, where did all the time go?
But ask yourself the question, is that bad? Is it bad that it's that effective?
No, I think it's great. They definitely have amazing algorithms to kind of understand what people want and do. And that's partially why, personally for me, I haven't used it. But you're right. If any marketing agency owner wants to really utilize a certain platform like TikTok, gotta use it yourself personally. Yeah.
I mean, I like to liken it back to what's picturesque, classic America. Okay. Picturesque classic America gets home from his day labor job. They have dinner, they sit down, and what do? They all watch TV as a family.
Yep.
All right. TikTok is just, and Instagram have kind of perfected that model.
Yeah.
That now your TV is for you specifically. And I don't think it's a bad thing. People do need to have self-control. I think that that's important. But I don't think that providing people with what they're interested in is a problem.
Yeah, I agree. So now, what do you think? I think we already touched on this, so I don't think we really need to cover too much. But the future of marketing agencies, what did they look like?
They look like video
They're
production
all doing
studios.
social media. Is that it?
Pretty much. So we haven't talked about AI a ton here. So let's talk about AI for a second, because I feel like this plays in a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of marketing, and again, another hot take, I'm going to piss off a bunch of marketing people. A lot of marketing is just getting the work done. Like it's an hours trade. It's a time trade. When you go and you hire a marketing agency, most of the time you're just trading money for time. Somebody has to sit down and do something. With AI and AI automation getting better and better and better, literally by the day.
Yeah.
A lot of those just get it done activities are being automated.
Yep.
And it's only a matter of time before those automations move from inside the agency to inside the company, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, there was one point in time where you only knew a couple people who had DVD players or a couple people who had Blu-ray players. Okay. Now it's like, I don't like the way this Blu-ray player looks. I'm going to throw it away. Like, exactly. So that's what's going to happen is it's going to move from this kind of enterprise to corporate to pro to now everybody has access to it. And as that happens, agencies that have historically been capitalizing on money for time trades will fall apart.
Yeah. Yep.
So they need to reimagine themselves. And
Yeah.
right now, one of the most future-proof elements of that is video production. Because video is the king of content. Content is king, and video is the king of content.
Yep.
So the AI is not there yet. It probably won't be there for a couple years. So I would say agencies look more at video.
All right, video. Oh, interesting. Yeah, thank you. What is so advice for agency owners? What's one piece of advice you wish you had when you were starting out?
So I love this question. Earlier, I said that every business is a sales business. I'm going to bring this back around full circle.
Okay.
Every business is also a customer service business. All right. If your customer, even if you are the best SEO expert in the entire world, if I hate working with you, I'm not going to work with you. If you don't pamper the client and give them the experience that they expect to feel within reason, there are clients who just won't be a fit. Okay. You can't eat the whole pie. You just get a slice. Okay. So you won't get everybody. Don't try. But outside of that, there will be people who just are not a fit. That being said, if your customer service sucks, you will never succeed. If you can't sell and you can't make them feel good about what they bought, you will lose.
Yeah. I would add on to that is actually as simple as deliver on your promises. It's just that crazy. Like you said you're going to give them an apple and they get an apple, but instead they get like an orange. So even though they might like oranges, just give them the apple. That's what you promise. And at that point, I would say you're 80% better than most companies out there. Right? It just blows my mind.
I'll give a personal.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll give a personal example of how I failed in this that I have learned from. Okay. When I first started my business, I did a lot of web and SEO. That was kind of where I built myself. And part of my contract was that I would deliver you a monthly report.
Okay.
And I just never automated it. It's a stupid automated report.
Yeah.
And I never automated it. And in the span of 6 weeks, I lost 4 clients because they're like, you're not delivering on the contract. 6 weeks, I lost 4 clients because I didn't automate a report that would have taken me 10 dang minutes to set up.
I know. Wow.
Simple customer service.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So now we'll go into a special rapid fire questions. All right. You ready? It'll be real quick.
Let's do it.
In and out. All right. All right. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Check my TikTok likes.
I knew it. No. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
What book are you currently reading?
The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie.
Okay. Who's your biggest inspiration?
Such a freaking cop-out answer, but I mean, who doesn't want to be Elon?
Okay. I don't know. Recently, he's kind of crazy. So
I don't mind eccentric. I want to be eccentric as hell. So
okay. There you go. What's one tool or software you can't run your agency without?
Search Atlas by LinkGraph.
Okay. I think I already know the answer to this one. What's your favorite social media platform for business?
I mean, it's TikTok, but I would not discount Instagram or YouTube right now.
Okay. Best advice you've ever received?
budget time for yourself.
Love it. Okay, last one. What's the best part about running an agency?
um Selling it. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey.
No, I love that when I wake up. Not everyone will love this, but for me, I love the fact that every day is different for me, and that I have the flexibility to decide how that day is going to go. So, for example, it's what time is it now? Almost noon. I'm done for the day after this. So, because I
Like,
felt
I'm
like
talking to Dave. I'm done.
it.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for your, your knowledge, your experience. Let's wrap it up. Any final thoughts or advice for our listeners?
Listen to your customers. Listen to your customers and specifically do this. Customers are almost always right about what is wrong, but they're usually never right about how to fix it. Your job is to fix it, but never ever tell them that they're wrong about what's wrong. They're usually right about that.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, this is their baby, right? Okay, how can our listeners find you online or get in touch with you?
Excellent. So obviously you can go follow me on TikTok at The Wizard Marketing. You can also go over and join our marketing community at fullvelocitymarketing.com. Or you can also visit the website and fill out our contact form at thewizard.marketing.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for your value-packed episode here. A lot of great information, golden nuggets. I would say gold blocks in some cases, not just nuggets. So thank you, and we'll see everyone next time. Bye.
Thank you.